We're going to start with the usual, what we do every week, the bulk, the meat and the potatoes of this segment. We're going to start with our stock watch, our three up, our three down. I actually don't know who any of your guys are on this list, so I'm excited to kind of learn with everyone else here. But let's start with the stock up. Big weekend.
All right.
Who do we have? Who are three guys on stock up this week?
Yes. So I will go in no particular order here, but I'm going to start with Ty Simpson, Alabama quarterback. Last week I had Diego Pavia, and I was like, all right, 5-0 for the first time in a long time going up against Alabama. Ty didn't have like an amazing game, but he did jump up in the Heisman
Mm-hmm.
odds. So I think that's kind of my angle here of just like, hey, they've bounced back after that Florida State win. They seem to be getting better every single week. So Ty, I do know I've sold a couple of his Inception autos. Those went up to like $35, which is kind of crazy. Those were like in the off season, closer to 10 to 12 or so. So we're seeing a big price jump with Ty
Oh yeah.
Simpson. I think I'm liking Alabama's direction that they're trending in. I feel a lot more safer with them, a lot more comfortable. So I'm going Ty Simpson there
Real
to
quick
start.
before you move on, couple noticeable sales here. So Ty Simpson is not a he's not a one and done in Bowman Chrome U. He is he's a lifer really at this point. It feels like he's got a first. Looks like it might be in a practice jersey or a spring jersey, but he's got a green sale from yesterday on Sunday, and $93 for a first green sale. That's a strong sale. And then you've got second year Bowman Chrome U refractor auto to $4.99 at $42 at bids. Non first refractor auto for $42. I'm going to name a couple other sales here, but I can't imagine that card was more than $25 3 months ago. So likely some pretty solid increase there. Brian, scroll up a little bit more here. So we're referencing card ladder for this, but a first base auto sold yesterday as well at $45 for a first base. Last inception sale was $30. Another second year base auto did $28 at bids. A gold auto out of 50 first. Want to take a guess at what this sold for? Sold out.
200.
Good guess.
One.
220.
Wow. Okay.
Sold this morning.
I was, wow. Okay. I would have guessed 180. Then I was like, oh, I'll go 200.
Yeah, so we're
And
recording this on Monday, so this is recorded a little early. But yeah, it's a gold sale. Did 220 a bid. So yeah, Ty Simpson market definitely headed in the right direction. I will give credit until the end of time, especially if he ever does anything. But Ty Simpson has always been your guy.
yes. Yeah. And luckily this one's worked out. So that is by far, like from the beginning, that's been my biggest investment or purchase. So Ty Simpson, number one. Number two, Carson Beck had a great game versus Florida State, 4 touchdowns. And again, I was out on Miami all off season. They were like them in South Carolina were my Florida State of last year's. Where I'm like, I don't know how Miami's doing it. They got Malachi Tony, this true freshman kid. Ruben Bain is destroying everybody, and they just keep winning. The rest of their schedule looks very, very, very doable. So I'm very much in on Carson Beck. I actually bought two of his Bowman First autos this weekend
Yep.
once I saw that schedule, and I'm in on Carson Beck. He's back. His prices have gone from like $20, $25 on a Bowman First. Now they're up to like 60, and you're
But
not finding them under that.
but I think the important part of the Carson Beck story is where they were to where they went to where they back up, where they are back, to now. It's like a roller coaster for those cars because when Carson Beck stuff came out, it wasn't exactly like the cheapest. And as like, Georgia's a powerhouse. So like as Georgia has continued to, produce it, those cars kind of creeped up. They were in the playoff hunt. Like who did they lose to last year in the playoff? Was it Penn State or Notre Dame?
Texas?
No. Texas beat Cam
Uh,
Skattebo on the no targeting call. It was
was
Notre
it?
Dame or Penn State, I think. Hold on, Brian's pulling it up. Who did Georgia lose to in the playoffs? It was Notre Dame or Penn State? Notre Dame.
Oh,
Yeah, because
okay.
it was right after Jack Beck's brother died.
Hmm. Okay.
And remember they played in like
Yes.
Louisiana?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The day after.
Yeah, and they delayed
And
the
they
they delayed the start of the game because of that. Yeah, Notre Dame
yeah.
and Georgia. That's who it was. So like Carson Beck stuff was moving. Then they get beat. Carson Beck transfers. So his stuff has seen a roller coaster. But we sold some Carson Beck stuff this weekend. Definitely feels like I don't have as much Ty Simpson stuff. I had plenty more Carson Beck. But definitely have seen a run on some Carson Beck stuff lately. And like you said, schedule doesn't look too crazy. that conference looks pretty wide open, and they definitely right now look like one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm in on Carson Beck. Like you said, that is a crazy roller coaster. Kind of like Cade Klubnik, although that
Yeah,
kind of just kept going down to start the year. But Carson Beck now might be one of the guys who's like it was way up, hit rock bottom, and now it's trending back up. So
for sure.
I'm liking Miami. Last one, running back. Okay, Ryan. When's the Ohio State guy gonna be here? Well, you're gonna have to wait another week because I've got Justice Haynes here, running back Michigan.
Ugh.
This kid's on. He's got like 600 yards. He's outperformed his total. He ran all over. Who did they play? I'm even blanking on that.
Wisconsin, Fickle.
Wisconsin, yes. So, yeah, this kid's just unstoppable. And I learned this week his Bowman First autos are like at $50. Like you're not finding them under that. So, pretty
Yeah,
crazy. Those were like maybe $20 in the preseason, off season. I'm sure
yeah,
there's probably some crazy golds and greens that are hitting $100.
yeah. He sells pretty well. Like a Leaf auto to 3 did $25. Uh, First auto just did 50. Someone got a green at a pretty good deal, did $45. You got a gold auto, did $75. He's got the Alabama auto, does about 20 from that Bowman NIL. So yeah, he's definitely got some sales. I mean, I've seen some of the game scores. Obviously, I keep a close eye on them, just understanding what that game means, in Columbus, Ohio. But so yeah, I mean, looks to be pretty solid. Shout out to Card Collector 2 Sports Cards for the single highest Justice Haynes sale ever. For the Bowman Chrome U Superfractor 101 Auto PSA 10 that sold last July before the National. So $600 was that sale. I feel like that's it's probably not a bad one, right about now.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That
Oh, I'm
was.
sorry. And actually the third highest sale ever as well. The Pad Pradasha 101 Auto for 250. So I think I was gonna say I think we owned a couple of his cards at one point, and sure enough, the Pad Pradasha and the Bowman Chrome U Super came through our shop. So yeah, pretty cool to see a couple of his bigger sales on there. But unfortunately, has played for two of my least favorite teams ever with Alabama and Michigan. But yeah, no denying he's hot right now. I mean, I feel like the Underwood market is still, it's one of those guys that I look at as like still higher than he probably should be. I mean, it's got to be so much on future potential because he's not the reason they're winning a bunch of big games, but his stuff still sells for a crazy amount of money. But $50, like I think this is worth pointing out on just how much the card market, especially in NIL, has changed. But I would say this is even true across football, the whole entire football market as well. Is these sales for a running back are impressive, right? Like the market is based solely, it has been for a long time, on quarterbacks run the football market. It's always, you go into the college football season, you go into the pro football season. We're not talking about Justice Haynes like we are talking about Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik and Lagway and Arch Manning and all of those guys. But to see guys like, Justice Haynes is a great one. Jeremiah Love is a good one. Jeremiah Smith sells incredibly well. You're starting to see more and more of this happening, but it's guys like this you look at and you're like, $50 for a base auto of a running back that's not even on that same team he's pictured in tells you how far the card market has come, but specifically college football cards.
Yeah, for sure. So wanted to give him some love. He's dominating. He's been very good. I wonder, I haven't seen too much, outside of like Jeremiah Love for like the draft perspective, if where this guy would line up, if he's going to push him for running back one. I don't know. This one's also kind of wide open when you look at like 2026 draft at running back. So those are my three up. Three down. I've got two for sure, and then one I'm like, all right, do we want to pick on the guy some more? I'm sure we will. But anyways, I will start with Thomas Castellanos, quarterback, Florida State. Just
Yep.
started out super hot for him with that Alabama win. His base autos that day jumped from like 15 to like 35-ish, and they kind of kept climbing up. He's probably got some solid like fuchsia sales in there, and it looked like Florida State was going to be a real contender. Now back-to-back losses, I think. They had Virginia in overtime, and then this week too. They came
Miami.
back a little bit, first Miami.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I think it's over for him. That was a nice little run for the first few weeks coming off that Bama win, but that is starting to tank. People are starting to like undercut on the market. Like they've gone from like 30 to under 20, I feel like, in the past few days. So
Yeah. The last
definitely,
Bowman's Best auto refractor did $4.25. His
wow.
last
Yeah.
Bowman Chrome refractor auto did $2.99 did $12.50. So yeah, they've
Wow.
you know they've dropped they've dropped a good bit. Last two Fuchsia autos did 1650 and 1550.
Wow. The Fuchsia was like a $50-$60 card maybe 2 weeks ago before that first loss. So
Yeah, they're down a ways.
yeah, I think we're starting to see Thomas. He was a guy that I wanted to stay away from. He's a good little athlete, but just the win versus Alabama definitely kind of gave him some shine. So that's number one. Number two, I'll go with Arch Manning. I think your last text me was Arch Manning is not it, and yeah, it's just a loss to Florida, not good. This was a very winnable game for them going in, and you're like, hey, I like Texas' chances to get back up,
Yep.
and they dropped that one, and now you just don't know. You don't know what Texas is right now, so
Yep.
we're kind of in
100%.
limbo. What's going to happen? So they do have Oklahoma Red River rivalry up against a backup sophomore quarterback. I don't know. It's a rivalry game. That game's always high scoring. Anything can happen, but it's not by any means like, hey, they should win this game and get back on track.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at Arch Manning as one of the biggest disappointments so far this season, just from the sheer hype alone. But there's been a lot of talk that maybe Arch Manning wasn't great. He played against you and I in high school. Like, he wasn't playing against, crazy, crazy five-star athletes. Like, I've seen some of the Arch Manning high school tape where he's just running around in circles against, chubby little white kids. Like, he's not playing like five-star D1 athletes. And he gets there, and there was a lot of talk that like they should have replaced him with Quinn, or replaced Quinn with him last year, in the playoff. And you just like, I watched the Florida game. I'm like, he makes a couple, like I saw him in Columbus, right? He made a couple throws. I'm like, that's a tough throw. And then he just makes some that I'm like, these are bonehead decisions. Like, what is he doing? Like, they don't look like they're good throws. Like, yeah, they play in the SEC now, so like, if they don't figure out a way to win a lot of games, they're not even ranked. They have no Power 4 wins, none. They've not beaten anybody of any substance. Like, it's Sam Ellinger said a couple years ago, Texas is back, and I say here today to tell you, Texas is not back. They're a ways away from being back.
Yeah. I mean, it's week 7, and we don't know what Texas is, and like,
we know they're not ranked. We know that.
Yeah, and like, so hopefully a big game just against OU this weekend, but definitely down from where he was obviously 8 weeks ago. Okay, next one. So this one I struggled with. You could go back to the Drew Aller, and we touched on it, so I'll do that. But before I do that, I was debating between Aiden Childs and Drew Aller, but we'll go to Drew Aller just because we opened with Penn State there. So yeah, now back-to-back losses. Another team, no Power 4 wins with their non-conference that they had. Only one Group of 5 win, I believe, as well. Yeah, it's looking tough. Now, Ryan, I do have a question for you though about this. Just like, with this loss, does this make you like more nervous to play Penn State? Does it make you more nervous?
Yeah, it's such a fair question where it's like you see this team play, like, and you're like, they lose to UCLA, they're like, oh, this team's terrible, and they're gonna come into Columbus, and I promise we're gonna get the best Penn State has for sure. Like, they're going on the road, everything to play for. Like, this is a season-defying game for Penn State in a couple weeks. November 1st in Columbus, Ohio. Season-defying game for Penn State. You lose. You have 3 losses. You've lost to Oregon. You've lost to UCLA. You've lost to Ohio State. You can't afford to lose and still go to the playoff. You won't be at relevancy in the Big Ten if you lose the rest of the year. I mean, obviously I'm nervous because I know the implications of it. It's hard because I sit here and I obviously I watch every Ohio State game, every snap. And I watch this Ohio State team, and I'm like, this Ohio State team is special. They're good. Arvell Reese, I will say it until he's a first-round draft pick. This dude is incredible. You got Caleb Downs. Like, I won't go into my Ohio State spiel. We don't have a ton of time. I sit here right now, and I'm like, this Ohio State team is legit. And it's at home. Give me the Buckeyes. Obviously, I wouldn't pick anybody else. Like, you know that. But, yeah, I mean, like, you're always nervous when a team with that kind of talent comes to town, right? It's not like Penn State doesn't have good players. They have great players. Like, they have one of the best running back tandems in the country. Like, Danny Dennis Sutton is an animal. Like, Drew Aller has the build you want to go play quarterback at the next level. Could they figure it out? Sure. You also got to put some of this on, like, I'm also betting on James Franklin. Like, James Franklin doesn't win big games. Like, we talked about this. Then he goes to UCLA and lays an egg. Nico runs wild all over them. I was waiting for you to say Nico's back on here. I said last week, I'm like, I don't know what optimism you got about this guy's cards. The dude runs for 3 touchdown throws for 2. They lost to a dude that's never called a play with a headset. He's like, I never even called one of these plays. I never even used this headset. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Penn State should have lost that game. They're such a talented team. So yeah, like I'm nervous, but I would sit right here right now and tell you I'm picking the Buckeyes to win, at home.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, I was just curious. I was thinking about that this morning because I'm like, just some of those games are like, what would make you nervous? Like Northwestern at 11 a.m. Trying to get up for them. That's a scary game.
Yeah, I mean Ryan Day's 50-1 against unranked teams. The only loss though is last year's Michigan game. When you get in those games, when you get in those moments against teams that also have talented players on them, anything can happen. Like those are, Penn State likes to call us their rival. Our rivalry is the team up north. It's not Penn State, but it doesn't mean those games anything can happen. Like that's a game we can't overlook. That's a good program. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So yeah, Drew Aller actually did sell a Bowman First Auto though after the game for like $87, I think. I don't know where
Wow.
his the bottom of his market was, but I was actually surprised. It was going to Happy Valley though, so they're just die hard.
Starting to make a little bit more sense there.
Yes. So 3 up, 3 down.